Kitsune is a fox spirit in Japanese mythology revered for intelligence, shape-shifting, and supernatural power. The word kitsune literally means fox, and legends portray them as messengers of the Shinto deity Inari. Kitsune are said to transform into beautiful women, often tricking or testing humans, though some stories depict them as loyal protectors. With age and wisdom, a kitsune grows additional tails, up to 9, each representing increased power and longevity. Some versions describe two types: Zenko, benevolent celestial foxes serving Inari, and Yako, mischievous or malevolent ones. Their transformations are often revealed when they forget to hide their tails or reflection. Foxfire, or kitsunebi, is said to be the glowing light produced by their magic. Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent, is a colossal sea serpent from Norse mythology, one of the 3 children of Loki and the giantess Angerboda. According to myth, Odin cast the serpent into the great ocean encircling Midgard, where it grew so large that it could grasp its own tail. It is destined to play a central role in Ragnarok, when it will rise from the sea, spewing venom and causing massive tidal waves. Thor, the god of thunder, is foretold to kill Jormungandr, but dies shortly after from its poison. The serpent represents the cyclical nature of creation and destruction. It has been linked to ancient symbols of the Ouroboros and world-encompassing dragons found in other cultures. Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of mummification and the afterlife, often depicted with the head of a black jackal. His name derives from the Egyptian Anpu, meaning to decay. Anubis was believed to guide souls through the underworld, ensuring their safe passage and weighing their hearts against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth. In early dynastic periods, Anubis was the primary god of the dead, before Osiris rose to prominence. He presided over the embalming process and guarded tombs from desecration. Ancient texts describe him as a protector of necropolises, particularly in cemeteries near the desert where jackals were commonly seen. In Greco-Roman Egypt, Anubis was merged with Hermes as Hermanubis, combining roles of guidance and judgment for the dead. Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman, is a cryptid said to inhabit the Himalayan mountains of Nepal and Tibet. Descriptions vary from a towering ape-like creature covered in white or gray fur to a large bear-like figure leaving human-like footprints in the snow. Local Sherpa traditions regard the Yeti as a guardian of the mountains rather than a monster. The name Yeti comes from the Tibetan words ye and te, meaning rock bear. Western interest began in the 19th century with explorers and climbers reporting tracks at high altitudes. Expeditions in the 1950s brought alleged evidence such as hair samples and photographs, though scientific analysis often identified them as belonging to bears. Despite skepticism, the Yeti remains a key figure in Himalayan folklore and popular culture. Thunderbird is a legendary bird from the mythology of North American indigenous peoples, particularly among the Algonquian, Sioux, and Pacific Northwest tribes. It is said to control thunder, lightning, and storms, using its massive wings to create thunderclaps and flashing eyes to summon lightning. The thunderbird is both a symbol of strength and a divine enforcer of moral order. Some traditions describe it as living atop mountains or above the clouds, protecting humans from underwater spirits. Carvings and totems across Canada and the United States depict the thunderbird as a large raptor, often resembling an eagle. Anthropologists suggest the myth may have originated from sightings of large prehistoric birds or rare weather phenomena. Nuckalevy is a sea demon from Orcadian folklore in Scotland, feared as one of the most horrifying creatures of the North Sea. It is described as a skinless horse-like monster with exposed muscles, a single fiery eye, and a human torso fused to its back. The creature was believed to emerge from the sea during winter, spreading disease, drought, and famine wherever it went. It could not tolerate fresh water and was said to be repelled by rain or crossing streams. In tales collected by 19th-century folklorists, the Nuckalevy symbolized the destructive power of storms and plague. Fishermen and farmers in the Orkney Islands offered prayers and charms to keep it away during harsh seasons. Rakshasa, in Hindu and Buddhist mythology, refers to a class of shape-shifting demons known for strength, illusion, and appetite for human flesh. They appear throughout ancient Indian texts such as the Ramayana and Mahabharata, often as antagonists opposing gods and heroes. Rakshasas can assume many forms, from monstrous to human, and possess magical abilities, including flight and invisibility. Some Rakshasas serve under powerful leaders, like Ravana, the demon king of Lanka. Despite their fearsome reputation, not all Rakshasas are evil. Some guard temples or live among ascetics in the wilderness. The term has also been used metaphorically to describe chaos, greed, or corruption within human nature. Banshee is a female spirit from Irish folklore known for her mournful wailing that foretells death. Her name comes from Banshee, meaning woman of the fairy mound. Traditionally, the banshee appears as a pale woman with long hair, sometimes dressed in white or gray, combing her hair beside a river. In other accounts, she takes the form of an old hag or a veiled figure shrouded in mist. The cry of the banshee was believed to announce the imminent death of a family member, particularly among noble Irish clans. Folklorists trace her origins to ancient mourning goddesses or keening women who lamented at funerals. Over time, the banshee became a lasting symbol of sorrow and the boundary between life and death. Wendigo is a malevolent spirit from the folklore of the Algonquian-speaking tribes of North America, particularly the Cree, Ojibwe, and Saulteaux peoples. It is often described as a gaunt, emaciated humanoid with glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and a heart of ice. According to legend, the Wendigo embodies insatiable hunger and greed. It is said to have once been a human who resorted to cannibalism in the harsh northern winters and was transformed by evil spirits into a monster. The creature roams forests, preying upon those who lose themselves to selfishness or hunger. In some versions, the Wendigo grows larger with each human it consumes, symbolizing endless appetite. Tales of the Wendigo were used as moral warnings against gluttony and isolation. Reported sightings continued into the 20th century, particularly in Canada and Minnesota, often associated with periods of famine or psychological distress known as Wendigo psychosis. Leviathan is a colossal sea serpent mentioned in ancient Hebrew texts, notably the Book of Job, Psalms, and Isaiah. Described as a creature of chaos, its body is armored with impenetrable scales, and its breath produces fire and smoke. Leviathan symbolizes untamable power and is often associated with the primordial seas that predate creation. In later Christian interpretations, the Leviathan came to represent one of the 7 princes of hell, embodying envy or pride. Medieval theologians and sailors depicted it as a monstrous serpent or dragon dwelling in the depths, capable of swallowing entire ships. Some scholars link Leviathan to older Mesopotamian sea monsters like Tiamat, while others see it as a poetic metaphor for the destructive forces of nature. Modern theories suggest it may have been inspired by real creatures such as whales or giant squids encountered by ancient mariners.